Maybe it's knowledge on a podcast, whatever. But you're just doing something. You're investing in your mind. You're giving yourself knowledge. Knowledge is power. Schoolhouse Rock. Knowledge is power. Just invest in your mind. Learn something. Maybe you don't want to learn a language. Maybe you don't have time for a language, but maybe you learn a couple words. You never know when they might come in handy. Maybe you are all afraid of math. Maybe you learn something a little bit more about math. Maybe you just read up on an idea. Maybe you do a little bit of research on something that's of interest to you. Maybe a music group, how'd they get started? Maybe a song. What was the reason behind the song being created? Just give yourself knowledge, everyday knowledge. When I first got in the radio business, every single piece of advice that I got from somebody, it always included read everything. Read everything. Knowledge is power. You need to know about everything. Obviously, that was before the internet age. Now we've got the internet, and now we've got AI. But there's always something to learn. Grow your mind. Have a growth mindset. So we're setting high personal standards. We're taking ownership of the things we do. We're mastering our habits. We're investing in our mind. And we do hard things. We get outside the comfort zone. I've always mentioned before that I would tell students that there's a whiteboard in the classroom, right? The old chalkboard, but it's a whiteboard now. And if I drew a box on the whiteboard, so now we're sitting in this box. And that's where the world wants us to live, inside this box. But there's this great big world outside the box. There's the whiteboard outside the box. What are you going to do with the rest of the whiteboard when you fill up the box? Think outside the box. We're taught at a young age, color within the lines, right? Color within the lines. Why? I get it. But again, why? There's a whole page outside the lines that we could use to color our masterpiece, abstract thinking. But again, do the hard things. Get outside your comfort zone, because growth comes from things outside your comfort zone. I used to put myself in situations that were always difficult. Maybe not difficult, but uncomfortable. Maybe uncomfortable is the better word. Because when you're uncomfortable and you get used to being uncomfortable, then it becomes comfortable and it's no longer uncomfortable. Does that make sense? So grow. Put yourself in a situation, whether it's talking to somebody new, going to a different place for a restaurant, maybe going out to eat alone, whatever, you figure it out. But do something that puts you outside your comfort zone. Speak publicly. Public speaking is one of the biggest phobias in the world. I knew I wanted to get into public speaking at some point, so I started doing that at a young age. I would run for every office I could in school, politics, class, whatever. And originally, I wanted to win the position, but then afterwards it was like, I just want to get in front of the student body and speak, get over that fear of speaking in public. And now I have no problem with it. Try something new, doing the hard thing, try something new, take a risk, learn a difficult skill. If we're comfortable, hey, that feels good for today, but our growth will build tomorrow. 1%, grow 1% a day, 2%, 3%, whatever it is, just grow a little bit each day. So we're setting high standards. We're taking ownership. We're mastering our habits. We're investing in our mind. We're doing the hard things so that we can grow. And then we choose our environment. Wow, choosing our environment. What could that be like? Well, environment influences behavior. What's the saying? Bad apple spoils the whole lot. Misery loves company. Like the poet needs the pain, right? So our environment influences us. So create an environment of people that make you successful, people that challenge you, people that encourage you, people that inspire you. That type of energy, well, all energy spreads, but if you have that people around you and they're encouraging you, they're challenging you, they're inspiring you, that energy is going to be positive energy. That's going to create growth. That's going to try to get you to improve that 1%. That's going to raise the standard in your life. And now that leads to a better you. So choose wisely the people in your group. Are they helping you grow? Or are they tearing you down? Are they giving you positivity or is it negativity?